here we are. Welcome to my channel for your new people that might be stumbling upon this and thinking, who is this newbie to Flosstube? And welcome back to the people that have hung out there for the last 6 months since I've been gone. 6 months, the longest time I have ever gone without making a Flosstube video. Wow, it's been a hot minute. Today is June 20th, 2019. I am 2 glasses of wine in and 45 minutes in a hot tub, so I am feeling all sorts of crazy. My hair is wet. This is what happened. I've been planning on making this video for a while because my husband was going to be gone, and I thought I really need to make this video. And then about 20 minutes before I was going to set everything up and like put the kids to bed, my friend next door was like, hey, bring a glass of wine, come on over and hang out in the hot tub. And I'm like, okay. So it would have been really easy for me to be like, nah, I'm not gonna make a video, but I'm dedicated to doing this finally. So thank you for being here and tolerating this and this. But first, water. Stay hydrated. So here we are. I've got some stuff to show. I have not written any notes, so it's just gonna be all willy-nilly like crazy. But first we'll do a little life update because it's been a minute, right? Like I just said. Again, I didn't write any notes. So what I'm gonna do is go to my trusty Instagram, because Instagram knows what I've been doing for the last several months. So the last time I made a video was probably mid-January, I think it was a Stitchy Box unboxing, and my last Flosstube update was during my Christmas break. So I don't remember if it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, a day before, a day later, I don't remember. But it was right around that time, and I had spent the entire break of mine, because from work I get the week between, or the time between Christmas and New Year's off, and it was a wonderful time. So so I had some finishes and I showed you that, and then January came along and I had another finish, and I don't remember if I showed you or not, but I guess I'm not gonna because I don't have that here. So there we go. So January was legit snowmageddon in the Midwest. I see here that it was 1 degree. I posted. So that was on January 20th. But I know maybe it was in February. I don't know. No, it was the end of January, so it was snowmageddon. So it was super cold, and then remember Midwest got all that ridiculous. We got snow, and then it was just bone-chilling temperatures, and our state shut down for 2 days. So I ended up with 4 days off, I think. We were released early from work one day. The next day, I didn't go in because everybody stayed home and it was so cold. And then the next 2 days, we had a state of emergency in Michigan and the government closed down. So the college closed down. So that was amazing. That was 2 days. So I got a lot of stitching done. In February, AJ had his CACs and he did okay, for swimming. And then super early March, I went to Nashville Market, Needlework Market. That was amazing. And it was in March, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it, and a lot of people posted their stuff. But let me tell you, as a small shop owner who has turned her home business into a side hustle and works full-time, it was just so awesome to be there. I got to meet designers. It was great. My husband went with me. He was like the best sidekick, because as I was going to shops and buying things, he would just ask me what room I was in, and he would come down and take all of the stuff from my bag and take it back up to the room, and then I would always have an empty bag so I wasn't overloaded. That was amazing. And he hung out with a lot of people at the bar, so he was making friends, and everybody loves Leaf, so that was so good. My Etsy shop still has Nashville Market stuff in it if you want to go look. So worth it. Can't wait to go again next year. Can't wait to see people again. It was so good. Nashville. It was great. Okay, so Easter came along and I ate all the jelly beans. That's what it looks like. And I had to finish, and I worked on some stuff. I joined Magical Stitches, so that's fun. I know you've heard all about Magical Stitches, so I'm not going to talk about that at all. In April, I don't even know what happened in March. In March, I had things and joined Magical Stitches. So in April, I went to Stitchinanigans in Arizona. That was McKenna's treat. Amazing. So good. I went a day early and came home a day late, and it was worth it, and I loved it, and I loved seeing all my friends, and it was just fabulous. Go to retreats. I drank some margaritas and ate some food and took some pictures. Let's see. What else did I do that was stitching? That was April. In May, I had a couple finishes, and my kid got sick forever. Oh yeah, sometime in January, we all got the influenza A too. That sucked. I don't have any pictures on Instagram about that, but it happened. Archer had a really bad earache, and then, yeah, that was rough. And then May was my birthday, and then May was a rough month. So, okay, so last summer, I don't know if I mentioned any of this, but it all leads to someplace. So last summer, right before StitchCon, my father-in-law was diagnosed with a type of cancer, like leukemia. And he started treatments for it, and he was on the transplant, like stem cell transplant list, and then they found a donor and everything was great. And then he started his chemo in November, and he had his transplant in December, and kind of everything was fine. And then he was in and out of the hospitals, and it took a long time. And then he wasn't doing well, and he took a couple falls, and then it wasn't working, and the anti-rejection meds were messing with his heart, and then things weren't good. And then he went into hospice. And I'm saying it all fast because I'm not going to dwell on all of that because I cry. So in March and April, whenever Easter is, I don't know, the weekend after Easter, he went home with hospice, and he passed away May 19th. So that sucked. The weekend before, which was Mother's Day weekend, my mom took a fall on her steps and broke both of her ankles. Also sucked. We don't know when exactly she broke them, but we think they were broken for a couple days before I figured it out. So that was fun. So we got to have an ambulance ride. I didn't go, but she did. A couple surgeries, and she's fine. She's fine now. I mean, as fine as you can be with two broken ankles. She is recovering at a friend's house, and she has home OT and PT, and it's way better than the rehab center that she was in for 20 days. She really didn't like. So that happened. There's been a lot of stress in May. We aren't going to talk about that anymore, though. So we had that. My mom's broken ankles, my father-in-law's death. Yeah. Looks like I had another finish. My birthday, I had, but who cares about that because mom's broken ankles and my father-in-law died. So, and the kids finished school, and they started yesterday. Actually, was their first day of school daycare. They've never been in daycare before. Axel, when he was born, he had a nanny here at the house for his first almost 2 years of life, but no daycare. So that's been something. Yesterday, like I said, was the first day, and I got a phone call right after lunch saying, come get Axel. He's not having a great day, but today was better. Today's Thursday, today was better. Looks like I started some new stuff and took a picture of my cat, and that catches us up. So that's life update. There you go. I did say earlier I joined Magical Stitches, so I have worked on a lot of pieces in the past several months, and so I'm going to show those to you, which is practically like a whip parade because I've worked on so many. I don't know exactly what I worked on them for, but that's okay. The specifics don't matter, just the needlework does. So first I'm going to show you some finishes because I have had a couple finishes. And I'm not even sure when. I could look back in my Instagram, but I'm not going to because dates don't matter. Nobody's keeping track. I know that this was after Nashville because I purchased this at Nashville. This is Fractor Bird from Shakespeare's Peddler. And clearly I haven't finished it because there are the finishing materials. I do have this kit available in my shop. This was a Nashville exclusive, I think. Not for 2019, I think it was 2018, but I don't know that for positive. But I do have some of these kits in my Etsy shop, I think. And it comes with the chart and the twine and the spool. And I did mine on a piece of Lugana, 32 count, don't know what it is. It's like a pale green. It's showing, from what I can see, it's showing great. And I used, oh, and it comes with the floss. It comes with floss too. So I used the floss that comes with the kit, which I believe is all Gentle Art. So yeah, I'm sure it's a 32. I feel like it's Picture This Plus now that I'm thinking about it, and I think it's Gossamer. That's what I'm gonna say. So there it is. I was making this for my small for Stitch Shenanigans. That didn't happen because honestly I liked it a lot, and then I just got lazy and I haven't sewn a thing in forever. So that was a finish. Very nice. I also finally worked on, and I know that I did this. This I finished before Magical Stitches. The next one I know I finished for Magical Stitches, and I don't know what. But I finally finished my Prairie Schooler 2004 Santa. So I have been doing a stitch along with Sim Swank. We started 3 Santas on Christmas Eves for 3 years. We didn't do it for 2018, but we're going to do a Christmas in July coming up. So I finished him. Ooh, I still had some floss attached to him. So here he is. I haven't signed him, but that's okay. I'll do it in the finishing. 2004 Prairie Schooler Santa, as charted, except for the skin. I converted the skin to something that looked a little less orange. Um, 18 count, I didn't say. 18 count Fiddler's Ada from DMC. Just the stuff in the tube, but that's what I am stitching all of these on. This took so long. 2 strands over 1 for 18 count. It's pretty dense. Oh, and then I, instead of stitching the spools, I satin stitched them. Like him. So cute. So those are my two measly finishes. But I've worked on a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to show you random things. Maybe you'll be enabled to buy stuff. Oh, I finished one more thing. I finished one more thing, and I don't have it because I sent it away to McKenna so that she could take it to StitchCon, which is this weekend? Is it like, I don't even know. anyway, she's taking it to StitchCon, and I'll put a picture right here of what it is. It's a blackbird design pattern. I think it's called A Token of Friendship, like from the book, A Token of Friendship. And it's called, there's a stink bug in here and it really likes my umbrella lamp. Anyway, and it's called A Token of Love. I don't know. It's called, the chart is called Emblem of Friendship. It's out of print. I don't know where you can get it. Please don't ask, but it was here. Some of my lovely friends are going to stitch their initials on that. McKenna has it. It was stitched on 32 count sampler khaki from Extrude Designs and was stitched with a hank of silk that we all split up in like a dusty mauvey color that I don't know what it is, but that's what it was. So 3 finishes. Thank you very much. Okay, I worked a little bit on my Scandinavian sampler, I think it's called, from, I'm getting hot because hot tub, oh my gosh, it's not here. Scandinavian sampler from, I don't know, I'll put it someplace. I'll put the finished thing here, but this is what mine looks like. I did not do very much. I only did those really long lines. This is on a 28 count Joblin from Witchout, and that's all she wrote. And it's stitched in a hank of red silk from Silks For You. I don't like this project. I don't know why, but I didn't enjoy it. So I did my minimum stitches and I kept it moving. I worked on Here Lie My Needles for a bit. I don't remember what the challenge was. Maybe it wasn't even. Maybe I just wanted to work on it. This is a 32 count from Picture This Plus in Earthen. And I remember working on the lady and whatever this is. I think it's a bee. So I am using my own colors. I don't know what they are. I just pulled from my stash and started doing stuff. That I think is a DMC though. So that's where I'm at there. I did really enjoy working on this. I remember that. And then I stopped. Because that's what we do. I need another drink. Do you see how rosy my cheeks are getting? That's the wine. Okay, moving along. I know I worked on this at least once. This is Mirabilia's Tree of Hope. I'm never gonna get a Mira done. This is what it looks like. I keep thinking, oh, I got so much done, but I'm not considering there are ladies there too. Never gonna get done, people. I am stitching this on, I think, a 28 count. This is Jaslyn, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm looking for the little tag because I know I have it. Jubilee, I'm sorry. 28 count Jubilee in Nocturne, which I do love. This is what it looks like so far. I was going to work on it recently, and I realized that one of the, I have hiccups now. One of the Karen water lily skeins that I had was the wrong color. I had inverted some numbers when I ordered it. And I was like, that's not the right color. So then I couldn't work on it because too much counting. I worked on Plum Street Samplers, Paradise Lost. This thing is so huge. I don't know if this is out of print or not. I feel like it is. I don't know for sure. Maybe you can find it. Maybe you can tell me. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter to me because I have a copy. I'm doing this on a cream Lugana, it looks like. Probably 32 count. When I started this for Stitch Mania like 2 or 3 years ago, and I only had this guy done. So I did his wings, I did these words, and then I started the tree. Look how big this is going to be. So big. So big. Oh, look, it says what this is. Lugana Cream 32 count. Look at that, from Witch Elf. So here we are. This was a lot of fun to work on. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But it's so big. Big, big project, that's what she said. Okay. What else did I work on? I worked on a Lizzie Kate for Magical Stitches for something, I don't know what. It is the Spirit of Christmas mystery sampler that, for God's sakes, I still haven't finished. This is from probably 2 years ago. I bought it as a kit because that's what I do. So this is on 32 count Belfast from Picture This Plus in Heartland. This was, at the time, it was their new fabric. And so I worked on part 2. That's where I'm at. That was fun to work on too. Everything is fun to work on. Isn't that how that goes when you have multiple works in progress and you're like, oh, I love this one. Why am I not working on it? It's because there's always something else to work on. I think this is a Delicious Threads bag. Don't remember when I got it. Did I get that at Stitch Mannequins? I don't know. This is my Death of Susanna Jane. And my pattern doesn't have the cover sheet on it because I got an early release because I know the designer. So I can't tell you what it looks like, but I'll put a thing. And I did work on this again. I'm way behind everybody else. This is it. I'm pulling colors as I go. This is Gentle Art Brick Path, and I'm stitching it on a Silk Weaver fabric, 32 count, called Days Gone By. So good. So good. Someday I'll finish it. I was just browsing Instagram a little bit ago, and McKenna is killing it. She finished her Pepe. It's looking good. Again, for everything is Magical Stitches driven. I worked on Redbird Fractor from, I think this is With Thy Needle and Thread, yep. This is a chart that I bought in Florida when Tracy P and I went shopping together. That was super fun. Tracy, how is yours going? I think you at least have the nest done. I still don't have that much done. Again, a piece that is going to be a lot bigger than I realized. This is on a 32 count something in espresso, I think is what it's called. This is use Ren, but I didn't. I'm pretty sure this is espresso from R&R. That's what I did. I did for Magical Stitches, I just filled in the outside of the bird's nest. And it's Weeks Dye Works Palomino, which I think is called for. But some of these I bought threads to sub in because I didn't have a big collection at that time and they didn't have the called for. So sometimes you just gotta make do with what you have or what they have. I worked on that a little bit. I think that was like a week's worth of work. There it is. I don't have much time to stitch. For another challenge, I pulled out my Joan Elliott Autumn Goddess. I started this for Stitch Mania a couple years ago and have barely worked on it. And I keep thinking maybe I'll just give it up. I'm like, I don't know, but I love her. She's so pretty. I think I'm just lazy. So she is on a piece of, looks like probably a 32 Monaco, I'm not for sure. And I worked more on her face. Here, kid talking. So before I just had the nose done, so I filled in a cheek in a little bit. And this gap right here is where her lips will be. So I worked on her. I think I did that in just one night for a challenge. So that was fun. My goal for Magical Stitches is to touch just all of my whips. It doesn't have to be all of them, but a lot of them. And then there are a lot that I haven't touched, and so I'm going through and trying to find them. Okay, this I used for a challenge. This is Clouds Factory Zodiac Sampler. You've all seen this. This is old. And I started on, is that Capricorn, I think? So I did this and then I started that. This is on Ada, 16 count Ada. Picture This Plus and whatever came with the kit. I can't remember. Gothic? I think it's Gothic. That's all I'm gonna say. So it was kind of fun to pull that out again. For some reason, this project of all my projects is the one that intimidates me the most. Or one of the projects that intimidate me the most. I don't know if it's just because it's big. I mean, it's not hard. But for some reason, it's too much for me. I don't remember if I showed this. I'm sure that I didn't, but I worked on this one a lot during my Snowpocalypse days. This fell off the chart. So this is Gwen by Nora Corbett. And I also started this so long ago, and it's just shameful. Shameful. But I finished all the stitches in her dress. Oh, I love her. So this is stitched on a 32 count piece of linen in sand, I think it's called, from Witch Out. I love her. I really need to get back to this. Why are my cheeks so red? It's the wine. I stopped drinking it. Still got me rosy. Okay, didn't work on that. I didn't work on that. I took this one to Stitch Shenanigans because McKenna was giving me a hard time. This is Matter's Choice, my Carriage House samplings. I am stitching mine using Anchor Black on a piece of tea and coffee dyed Monaco. Don't know the count. I got a lot done. Got the whole top finished. And it looks like I started some of this down here. So I love it. I love that one. Again, another one that I should be working on. I should be working on them all. My stack is getting a little tall. Okay, what else? Not that, not that. Not that, not that. Did work on this. This is a whip that I adopted from Stephanie at Lindy Stitches, her spring delivery from Plum Street Samplers. And yet again, for a magical stitches thing, I filled in the little cart. Just that much. And this is stitched on a 36 count solo die from Silk Weaver. And someday I'll finish it. I swear, Stephanie, I will finish it. I swear I will. Okay. I just need to put some of these things away. I'm a little worried. I have a box over here. Okay. I have 2 boxes. So I worked, oh, this was a new start that was not that long ago. I started it for Magical Stitches and I got super far. I've been wanting to start this for so long. This is Miss Harriet Hare Cotton by the Primitive Hare. I am stitching her on a piece of 30 count Old Salem linen from the Primitive Hare. And this is where I'm at. So I picked all my own colors. Let me tell you what they are. The brown is the Gentle Art dark chocolate. The bunny white has just the slightest pink tinge, and it is the Gentle Art porcelain. Oh, I love it. And the dress is Classic Colorworks Apple Fritter, and I'm really worried I'm not going to have enough to finish. Because I only have this much left. So, and there's some dress left, you see. I'm hoping I have another skein of this somewhere in my stash. Boy, I'm hoping. But that's where we're at. Oh, and this grayish, it's a gray, almost pink. That's the DMC that's called for, because I could not find an equivalent in my overdyed. So she is looking fabulous. Top Knot Stitcher, we needle minder. And I have not far behind Miss Mary Margaret Wool, which we'll start sometime. So that was really fun, and I worked on that I think for a week. And it was a great time. And it lives in my Momily bag, one of my Momily bags. This, I don't know what it is, but I worked on it. Oh, this is Autumn Song by Blackbird Designs. This is out of print. I've been working on this one for a while, and I made a lot of progress, probably since you've seen it. If you've ever seen it, I'm not even sure. This is where I'm at. So I'm doing this in all the called for colors. This is a scrap piece of Picture This Plus, 32 count. I don't know what kind it is. I used it for something else. It might be Velt. I don't know. I worked on it at Stitchinanigans. That's why it's got the needle minder on it. So really, I just have to finish an acorn over here. No. Yes. An acorn over here. 2 leaves. So there's still some stitching left. But I'm close. So I love that so much. So much. And it lives in So Much to Love bag. That I did not start. That is empty. What is in here? Oh, this is a new start, like just last week new start. I was feeling a little grumpy and wanted to start something to make me happy. And I just happened to have my unicorn chart, which is Adam and Eve by Perman of Copenhagen. I feel like I have one of these in my Etsy shop. It was out of print for quite some time, and then Witch Out somehow re-released it and kitted it. So it comes in a kit with this, with a big hank of floss. I don't know what kind, I don't remember, but it's like a light blue. I don't have it here because that's not what I'm using. And I don't think that it says, and it's all written in Dutch, so what are you gonna do? But anyway, it was my unicorn, and I was like, you know what? I need to start this. So I'm using the fabric, which is a 32 count linen from Witch Out, so it stands up on its own, because you know how Witch Out does. So it's not my favorite. And I'm using a hank of silk from Silks For You on Etsy in this navy blue, which is almost reading a little purple in my light, but it's not. It's navy blue. And this is all I got done because I started it and I wasn't feeling it. I think it's this fabric, but I don't have anything else this big right now that I feel, I mean, I do, but they're all like natural colored linens and I like the whites with the blue. So I'm just gonna have to get over it and use the fabric because it came in the kit and it's a waste if I don't use it. It's fine. So, also lives in a Momly bag. What else do I have? I worked on this a little bit. I worked on this when I was at Market. This is Bothy Threads, Alice in Wonderland. I started this a super long time ago. I bought this kit from Adele. Adele, thank you. It has, it came with an even weave from, I don't know who, I don't remember. Sparklies? I don't remember. And I did work on it a little bit. And I've worked on it, I think I've worked on it for Magical Stitches as well. I still don't have a page finished, but I have a lot done. You won't know the difference though because you won't. Oh, wait. Ah, there we go. Look at that. So it's on a sparkly, I don't remember if this is 28 or 30. I think it's 28. Sparkly 28 count Lugana. It's beautiful. And I got a little bit of that done, and I am using the kit floss for this, which is not my favorite. But I'm committed now, so let's go wrap another drink. I'm starting to get a headache. Okay. Well, that was embarrassing. I worked a little bit on my Courtney Collection Peacock. I might have this in my Etsy shop. If I don't, I have other Courtney Collection stuff. And I am doing this on a piece of 32 count Lugana that I dyed myself, and I even put, I recorded a video. I am stitching this with the Gentle Art Black Crow, I believe. I hate this. I hate this project because it's so big. Look. It's just that top. It's this right here. And it's going to be so long, look. Oops, it's upside down. Let me try that again. It's going to be so long. That's a nursing home project for sure. I don't even know if I have enough floss for it. Legit, no idea. But I did work on it a little bit, and I don't remember for when or for why, but I did. What do I have here? Nothing that I've worked on recently. What do I have here? I started this around Christmas, and I don't know if I've showed it. Feliz Navidad from Blackbird Designs. I saw this and I loved it. And I had to stitch it. And I am stitching mine on a 32 count Properly Primitive from Under the Sea Fabrics. And it's so beautiful, and I need to work on it again. So beautiful. I feel like I decided I was going to pull out that blue. Or did I already pull it out? I don't know, because it's really bright and obnoxious. Maybe I need to get some stitches around it to really try to figure it out. But there it is. I love it. I don't think that I'm using some of the called for fabrics or some of the called for floss, and some I'm not, because when I kitted it up, they didn't have everything that I needed. So that's gorgeous. Forgot how much I like that one. And I also worked on this, which is another Blackbird Designs, because apparently I'm into that kind of thing. 'Tis the season. Woo, chart. 'Tis the season, Sal. So I purchased the floss pack from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. An amazing deal. And I am stitching mine on 32 count Silvery Moon by Ship's Manor, which I think is the perfect fabric for this. And I did work on Cardinal's Tail at some point in the past few months. So beautiful. Just enough variegation to show, but not like crazy stripey. Beautiful floss to work with. I recommend. And the chart is great. And what else? We're almost to the end here. Almost, whoops, to the end. I started at some point with Abby, Top Knot Stitcher, Moon Dance. She's way ahead of me because I stink. This is a Kathy Barrick chart. I believe that it is out of print now. She probably still has some on her Etsy shop. Check out Kathy Barrick's Etsy shop. She's retiring a bunch of charts, and she has a bunch of them for sale, and once they're gone, they're gone. And here we have this one, because peacocks. For me, it was the peacocks. For Abby, it was the moon. So I started on a piece of 32 count Fog. I picture this plus that I had used a piece for another, I'd used this fabric for another piece, and this is what was left over. So that's all I've done, and I am using the charted DMC. And if you look at the model on the front and you look at mine, do you see how there's an extra star there that wasn't stitched on here? That was weird. I don't know why that is. To get back to that. Abby and I have a start whenever, finish never. And then my stitch along with Garrett Coffee Stitcher is going horribly because I'm not keeping up. I don't know if he's keeping up. But here is my Sarah Davis Clonmel sampler from Stitchy Box. and I'll put a picture up here of what it looks like finished. I started this quite a while ago. For our sale, we're supposed to be doing 2 rows a month. I haven't kept up. I haven't seen him pull this out in a while though, so I think Garrett's behind too. But I did the yellow for Magical Stitches homework. And so that's where I'm at. I need to get back on this. I do love it. And this is stitched on a 36 count vintage country mocha from Witch Out. Stamped, so you can see the back. I got the right side, because you know how I do. And I am choosing all of my own colors, which are in this. And you can still get Sarah Davis Clonmel from Stitchy Box as a digital download on stitchybox.com. I'm not paid to say that. And it looks like the last thing that I have is my current whip, which I have been working on for the past few days. I think I started it last weekend. Speak to the Earth sampler by Cooler Designs. This is available as a digital download on the Cooler Design website, which is right here, coolerdesign.com. So this is obviously just the computer generated mock-up, but is it not gorgeous? And Jennifer Upton is the person who first showed this chart that I have seen, and I bought it because I had to. And I don't remember when I bought it. I feel like it was like in January or February, and I just decided I needed to start it. And start it, I did. It is in my Q-snap right now. I am stitching it with all of the called for DMC on a 32 count fabric from Hand Dyed by Stephanie called Sorbet. It was one of the fabric of the months. It might even be this month's fabric of the month. I'm not for sure. I don't remember. But I saw this chart. I had had it printed out for a super long time, and I just picked it up again, and it was next to this fabric, and I thought, yep, that's happening. So this is completely charted in DMC. And this is about half. This right here is about half the chart. This is the width of one page. So I'm still working on page 1. And I was working on the waves earlier. These ones are finished. These have some holes where I need to put the darker blue in, but they're gorgeous. And I love this so much. So I'm going to keep working on it for a while until I get tired of it. That is what I have been doing. So I was gonna go through some haul things that I purchased, but honestly I haven't really purchased that much, and this video is getting long enough. So thanks for tuning in. I really hope I can get back to making videos. I'm not stitching a lot. That just means I'll make smaller videos, and that's okay, because these days short videos is all I have time to watch. So I'm woefully behind in Flosstube. I have no idea who the new Flosstubers are, which makes me really sad, but super excited that there are so many that I can't keep up. I think that's amazing. Maybe we'll do haul another time. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying subscribed, even though I was gone for so very long. Keep us in your thoughts this weekend as we celebrate my father-in-law. Losing him was a big hit to our family, and you know, the boys are the only grandchildren. That's their only grandpa. So it's been rough. It's been rough. But we are going to go through this weekend remembering and being happy for the time that we had with him, and celebrating all of the wonderful things that he gave us in his time. So I'm happy to do that. Maybe I'll get a little stitching in too. So hope you all are well. Stay stitchy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye all.